Sure. I'll talk it out.
Yeah, let's just have a conversation.
Track 3.
Better not be fucking Dave Matthews Band.
Okay. Those of you who don't want to be a part of this can leave now.
Derek, please listen to me.
But if you choose to stay, which it seems like you guys are choosing,
Derek, please.
you understand and agree to the following terms and conditions.
Derek!
1.
Derek, this is the virus
You
talking.
hereby waive your right
Derek, please.
to your own personal bodily integrity.
This is not you.
2.
I'm a licensed...
Per the State versus Neville Reed, my colleague and I will not be held criminally liable for any felony or misdemeanor that you may be a victim of, including, but not limited to, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, disorderly conduct, destruction of property, mayhem, and first-degree murder. And 3, terms and conditions may change or be updated whenever the fuck I want! Consider yourselves notified.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but 2 things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
What was that ruckus? What ruckus? I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Describe the ruckus, sir.
Does this mean we're not friends anymore? Not me. I'm in my prime. Out of your mind.
Ain't it cool?
First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Blow. Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
What up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with you on the Meltdown Radio Podcast, doing another movie review. This time I'm doing 2024's Crackcoon, directed by Brad Twigg. Our cast is Rosaria Irazo, Justin P. Martin, Chris O'Brockie, Angel Bradford, who I'm familiar with for a while now, with movies like Wolf Hollow, Night of the Axe, of course. Hunter Redfern, who's in Children of the Woods, along with Bradford. And I haven't had a chance to see this film yet. I really want to see it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I believe Jake Robinson is the director of that one. Jessa Flux is also a familiar face. Debbie Does Demons. I did a review of that not too long ago. Really enjoyed that a lot. And Cannibal Hookers. And then Morgan Thompson is in this as well. And she shared screen time in a film with called Depravity with Angel Bradford as well. The plot here is a raccoon ingests a discarded synthetic drug and mutates into a vicious killer. It rampages through a mountain community, threatening campers, tourists, and residents. No one is safe from the monstrous raccoon's violent onslaught. And I apologize. My cat, Hazel, is turning into a Crackcoon over there. So if she's making a lot of noise, I do apologize for that. But so this was an interesting film. Was looking forward to it for sure. Yeah, sorry, I had to go take a break and feed the cats because otherwise it was going to be a nightmare and they were making a lot of noise. So sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, going through the cast a little bit, you have Jessa Flux. I'm becoming a big fan of her. She's doing a lot of great work, a lot of different films. She always has some pretty cool characters. Of course, Angel herself. And then, of course, these two guys I'm not too familiar with. This is, I believe, Brocky and Martin here. They play the gay drug dealers. Like, and Martin on the left there, he's like hilarious in this film. Like, he really makes the film roll. A lot of great scenes with him. And of course, if we're going to take a look at our little Crackcoon here, here's one still, of course. The goriness is not too bad, done really well. I know that Angel is also a special effects artist, so I wonder if she had a hand in some of this. She does do both, like between the acting and participating with special effects. So I do wonder if she was had a hand in some of this. And then, of course, here's another one. At times, looks almost like a mini werewolf, badger, whatever you want to call it, but raccoon, obviously. But it's so funny. A lot of cool scenes with it. They even used a little bit of CGI in this, which was interesting. It was well placed, wasn't totally overdone. Most of it's all puppeteering, but a lot of fun. And people looked like they were having fun on the set too with this. So, so yeah, the movie starts basically where you have this couple who are looking to buy crack. So crack addicts are out there and they're waiting. And this is where Brocky's character shows up with his lover, Martin. Actually, I don't think it was early in the film. They were together later, but Brocky shows up and he's like, "Hey, I got this new type of crack, and it's all orange colored." And at first, the crack addicts are kind of laughing about the color, but they're so dying to need. And Brocky's character is like, "Yeah, man, this is the best shit here. This will fucking send you over the moon." And so that's what ends up happening is they go and they basically, the guy takes it first, the guy and girl addicts, and the guy takes it, and then his eyes turn like orange and he freaks the fuck out. He's spitting up, some sort of mucus and blood, and ends up stabbing the girl in the neck. And that sort of kicks off the movie as whoever's smoking this stuff or eating it, in the sense of like what the raccoon later who ends up eating it just becomes enraged and crazy and zombified in some way and goes on killing sprees. So that's basically affects humans just like it does the animals. So play a little bit of a short clip here as I'm talking, just so you can kind of get an idea about everything. That's sort of early in the film, but yeah. So there is a moment where someone makes reference to the raccoon being like a devil monkey, which I thought was kind of funny. So I really like the script writing in this because even though I wasn't necessarily like blown away by the film like I thought it might be, the writing of the film is great and the acting is very good. So it does hold up, even though some of the other, like, I wasn't crazy so much about this guy, that the sheriff wasn't that interesting to me. But but that's kind of what you get. This isn't like your state-of-the-art mainstream movie, so you're not looking at Oscar winners here or anything like that. But they put their all in, they're having fun, and they all play a part. But there's obviously never a shortage of gratuitous nudity from actresses like Flux, Thompson, and Bradford. That's never a bad thing, especially in films like this. So you have a lot of fun, a lot of TNA, old school type of movie making, where no one's really too worried about being PC or anything like that. Sometimes there was like a little bit too much attention to detail. For instance, Aiden, played by Redford, was it? I think his name is. Let me go dip and check real quick. Redfern, Aiden, he's basically taking a dump while his girlfriend, played by Angel Bradford's, in the shower, and so he ends up needing toilet paper. So he gets off the toilet. Of course, they're showing it, the crap in the toilet, before he gets attacked by the Crackcoon and meets his demise. But I thought, man, that's a little bit too much detail there, but kind of funny at the same time. Also, it is kind of funny in that scene that the Crackcoon ends up giving Aiden a swirly in the toilet. So that was pretty pretty crazy. Now, I believe the other actress, Rosario Rezo, she like is there at the beginning of the movie a little bit. She's like this kind of straight laced friend to this group of people between Angel's character and Morgan, their characters and stuff like that. And she's like a photographer or whatever, and she doesn't want to drink or anything. It's not really her thing. So she's out there and she kind of disappears from the movie, which is really weird because she ends up not till the end coming back. So I don't know if I like that too much because you really do forget about her. Like she's just a non-existent character while everything else is going on. So by the time she comes back, you're like, oh yeah, she's in this movie. It's like, what the hell are we doing? Like, because you expect maybe the hero to be somebody you've been watching throughout most of the film, but even though Frankie, played by Martin, the one gay guy, he's going to be towards the end there with them. So, but you don't even remember that arrays those characters out there because you just don't see it for a majority of the movie. Now, one of my favorite deaths, of course, is by Natasha. That's played by Thompson, and this is after she's had sex with her boyfriend and. She's under the covers, and of course we have this scene that's where the Crackcoon sneaks up under the sheets and gets between her legs. It's one of the funnier deaths that we see, but I'm going to go off on like a little side tangent a little bit just because it struck me funny when this scene happened for a number of reasons. So look, I'm friendly with people in independent films. I'm a big supporter of independent films, independent directors, actresses, actors. At the time, a few months back, like when I was Fallen Angel and stuff like that, I was friended with Morgan. That was on my friends list for a while on Facebook. And so for those that remember, there was that bear versus woman or bear versus man meme that went around about whether or not a woman would feel safer around a bear or a man. And, everyone has their opinions about things. And to me, honestly, I never took that whole thing super serious, which is why I made my own memes about shit like that, just to kind of poke the bear back. But it was all in fun for me. But some people take shit a little bit too seriously. And so even if I'm not being derogatory or mean or anything or mean spirited, apparently Morgan thought that I wasn't worthy enough to keep as a friend on Facebook. Not a big problem. It's her, her prerogative of who she wants to associate with. But I did think it was quite funny that, her boyfriend's in the doorway in the movie and her character is getting mauled to death by a raccoon. So I couldn't help but think, does she still feel safer with the animal compared to the man in this situation? I know, I'll be here all week. But I have no ill will towards her at all. I do enjoy her acting. She does a very good job. I've seen her in this, of course, and then Debbie Does Demons. So, and just like she and Depravity and stuff. So like, there's no problems there with me in terms of her acting ability at all. But yeah, so anyway, I'm moving on back to the movie. With Angel's character, she gets what is basically her version or this version of the kill from Psycho. It's similar to that with the Crackcoon. Now, my best quotes that I really enjoyed from the film in terms of the characters, there was a camper couple that were camping around the lake, and they were on vacation. So there's like this little back and forth between the boyfriend and girlfriend. And, she's kind of like upset because they didn't go to like Spain or Italy or something for vacation, or maybe it was Miami, I think Florida is what she mentioned. And he's like, look, she kind of busted on about money, and he's like, look, hot dog vendor is a real job. And then she replies by saying that, well, I guess I should leave it for the paper boy since he makes real money. So I enjoyed that comment a lot. Good writing there with that. Then there was a moment between Bradford's character and her boyfriend, played by Redfern, and that was They thought when Morgan's character and the boyfriend were dying upstairs that they were still having sex and screaming. So Aiden was like, why can't I make you scream like that? And so Bradford's character turns to him and is like, well, you did, but it's because you stuck it in my ass. Don't you remember I was walking funny for 3 days and having to sit on frozen peas? So I enjoyed that a lot too. Soundtrack is great. I like the good thing I like about a lot of the people in this group of movie makers and actors is that rock and metal and punk rock is always like a fixture into their soundtracks. So I really enjoyed the soundtrack a lot with this. As for like a B rate, like when I compare it to some of the other films that I've seen from a lot of these same actors and whatnot, this one seemed very polished. Like it did a good job. Like I'm curious about there's a scene where the two drug dealers are getting pulled over. This is when they ditch their drugs and how the Crackcoon finds it later. But the two cops that pulled them over did a good job. Now, the thing is, I don't know. I'm assuming they're actors, but the truck looked real. Like, I don't know how the director, did he just say, hey, can we borrow a couple of cops to play a scene with us? Like, I don't know, because the truck looked legit. Like, they did a good job with that. So, impressive there because it is polished. It looks really well made. The editing is good. So a lot of cool things about this that I enjoyed. And most importantly, of course, is that no raccoons were harmed during the making of the film, which is very important. Can't harm animals, can't do it. So, yeah, that's basically it. I don't want to give a lot away. It just came out on Screenbox, but I just watched it on Prime because I didn't want to pay for another subscription. I already subscribed to Shudder and numerous other fucking apps, and so I didn't need to add one more. So I just went straight to the Prime and rented it to check it out. But I will probably buy this. I think it's on Blu-ray or DVD, so I'll probably get it. But my rating of this is 8 out of 10. I don't know if I quite enjoyed it as much as Debbie Does Demons. I really, really thought that was a great film, even though they're not really related in any way. But this is still a very good film and solidly put together. And everybody did a good job with it. So I highly recommend people check it out. Support your independent directors and your independent actresses. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for checking it out. Give me your opinions and thoughts. Have you seen the film? What'd you think of it? What else have you seen within this group of people? Like, how do you feel about their scene altogether? Because they share a lot of work together and projects. So yeah, give me your thoughts. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe, of course. Later today, Mr. Tony the Dead and I are getting together to review on our Ghouls of Midnight podcast, Tin Can from 2020, another horror flick, more of a psychological body horror type thing. So be looking for that later today. Oh, actually, he won't, because it's on his channel. You won't see it till next Monday, but that's the next one we're doing. But tomorrow, later in the evening, Mr. Rick Myers and I will be doing the podcast that he usually does with Fat Samurai Guy. So the action film Autopsy, and he's got a list of movies and shows that he wants to talk about that I'm going to talk about with him, filling in for Samurai while he's going through a bit of a tough time right now. So it's going to be a huge honor for me to sit and talk to Rick, who's a very, very awesome dude and very knowledgeable in the ways of movies and stuff like that. So be looking for that. That I'll definitely have up by the end of the evening for those that we want to check it out. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Metal Terminator podcast.
Just before you die.